Hey there folks, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at one of my Trick or Treat Studios Michael Myers masks. Now I would consider this a rehaul, but it's really more of my own concept going on here, similar to that mask. They're both on a 2018 base, but this mask is much more in the vein of the original. The hair is kind of got the horns going on, as you can see. We got some pretty dark lighting going on right here, just to give you an idea of what it looks like with that sort of H1 aesthetic. It's a little bit, the blue is a little bit harsh, but I think it looks kind of cool right now, so we're going with that. But this is a mask that has been given the quote flashback treatment. It's my first attempt at really doing that outside of this mask here, which this one has some kind of other, it's a little bit of a different scenario, different situation going on there. This one was more of a direct attempt at doing the flashback. And as you can see down at the bottom there and throughout the mask, those cracks and crevices weren't completely covered, and it also has a bit of a rough texture to it. However, I'm pretty happy with this mask. I did say in my previous mask video that I didn't know how I felt about this, but my feelings have started to kind of come around a little bit. And even though it's not perfectly smooth as I would like, there's a lot of things on the mask that I do like. And I think my biggest issue is I don't really like how it looks on the mannequin. Now, I've said this in a previous video, but this mannequin, or this bust, was made for this mask. This mask is a bigger mask, so it sits on there differently. And really the biggest issue is that the pole that the mask is sitting on is longer, so it makes the head ride up a little bit, because I wanted this one to have that real long Nick Castle neck kind of look. And also, he's just kind of got like some broad shoulders going on, and the mask isn't very big, so it's just making the mask look a little bit too small. I think that's what my biggest issue is, but overall, I do like it. But the hair is real mohair, or real crepe hair, I should say, and I redid the sideburns, the glue for the sideburns, and, you know, I kind of gave it that H1 treatment. We'll get a closer look at what the mask looks like in some better lighting, but just to kind of give you an idea of what it looks like in this kind of more H1 vibe. So we can actually go ahead and take a look at the mask in more neutral lighting. So I'll go ahead and get that set up here now. Alright guys, so here's the mask in more neutral lighting. And you can see some of the things that we got going on here. The hair is pretty dark. It was a lighter brown color, and I sprayed it darker. It kind of didn't work out too well because I did the mask first. Obviously, I painted the mask, and then I put the hair on. And somewhere down the line, I didn't like the way the mask looked, so I went ahead and I repainted it, and some of the white paint got oversprayed into the hair, so then I went back with brown to try to darken those areas up. So now there's kind of a darker line going throughout the hair, and you can still see some of that white as well, and we also have some brown overspray. Now, these are a lot of the reasons why I wasn't a big fan of this mask, because I was trying to go for a very specific look, and there was a lot of things kind of coming at me one at a time. I was also trying to get an idea of what the mask looked like stretched, because I wanted to see what it looked like on somebody's face. Excuse me. So there's a lot of things that went into it, and when you look at it in lighting like this, there's a lot of the flaws that are starting to come out, the shading and things like that, and you kind of get these hints of blue shading, and that's down to the fact that the mask, like I said, was previously painted. So when I went back over it with white, you can kind of see some of the previous shading poking through. So it's got some blues in there, and then you got the shading that I did on top, and the mask has got kind of a really dirty look. So in concept, it was supposed to be a more flashback style H1 mask using an 18. The reason because that mask is smaller. However, there's a lot of things that happened that kind of made it so it didn't really turn out right. But its overall look I still really like, and I tried some new things with the hair. The way that I glued down these areas here, and I also pulled this triangle down, which is a detail that I noticed on the regional mask more recently. You can see that the way the hair looks right there. Really, really happy with how the hair is applied. However, I ran into the same issue as I did with that one, and that this side is too high. I don't know why I keep doing that on 18 masks, but it's something that I keep doing. You can see that the hair kind of creeps up the scalp a little bit more than it does on this side. So that's the issue with that one. That's a big reason why I didn't really want to show this mask, just because I will say that I'm still happy with it, because in certain lighting it looks really good, and you know, obviously you should be proud of your work when you're done, and for the most part I am. It's just I know that there's a lot of things that that made this mask a bit harder to deal with, so it kind of rubs me the wrong way. But here you can see the skin tone and some of the dirtiness on it, and it's just overall not as, like, it's got the right shape to it, but it doesn't really have the worn effect. And you can see it here on the lips, the nose, and the corners of the eyes. It doesn't really quite have the look that I'm going for. You can see it kind of in the ears, behind the ears. You can see how really dirty that is back here. So yeah, guys, I have a lot of issues with this mask. Unless it's in, you know, some kind of decent lighting. You know, I see the mistakes that I made and a lot of the different things that kind of made this mask difficult to work with, like I said before, but overall, I still think it has a cool look to it, and in concept, I like the idea, but in execution, this time around, it didn't really come out as good as I would have hoped. So this mask is, it's a bit of a dud in my opinion. You know, the little rough texture that you see on the mask is down to an issue that I had after I painted the mask skin tone initially, and then the cracks weren't deep enough, so I went back over it. And I think I initially tried to get rid of that first layer of latex paint to do the rest of the latex. So there's just a lot of trial and error in this mask, and that's what this mask had, but this was much looser in concept and also much less important. This mask was going to be a mask that I was going to use for my Halloween project because it's tighter and it has kind of that nice H1 look. And I've seen a lot of people do the flashback treatment, but I've never seen it done in a way where it really, really looked like H1. So that's what I was trying to pull off, and it didn't quite come out that good. This mask, I'm still much happier with. When I think of this mask, when I see this mask, I see that. You know, this for me is perfect. I still need to darken up those horns a little bit, but the room is usually so dark in here that you can't really tell anyway. But this mask is just a 10 out of 10 for me. I'm very, very, very proud of it. Whereas this didn't have the same outcome. But yeah, guys, I thought I'd go ahead and show you guys this. And, you know, sometimes the masks don't come out quite the way that you hope. And this one was supposed to be that one's replacement. As far as the direction going now forward, I'm not entirely sure what we're going to do, but I think that the chances of this... I think the chances of this mask getting used are less likely as time goes by. But I'm still proud of it in the sense that it's a mask that I made and that it helped further my abilities and, you know, what not to do and how to progress. But it has a lot of issues and a lot of things to be, you know, to be fixed in the future. So with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, notification bell. All that would be greatly appreciated if you choose to do so. And of course, until next time, true believers.